Okay, welcome to another fantastic, fabulous, epic episode of My Orgasmic Life. I'm your hostess, Gaia Morissette, aka Empress Gaia. Today, we're actually not going to talk about kink. Well, I'm sure at some point I'll probably talk about kink, but that's not the theme today. Theme today is dating and why it's not a good idea for a monogamous person to date an ethically non-monogamous person or an ethically non-monogamous person to try dating a monogamous person. So if here's the thing, okay? So I'm going to lay out all the different, it's kind of like higher, like wiring of like types of relationship styles, okay? So you have monogamy, which is like true monogamy, where you are only attracted to one person and one person is only attracted to you. And by the way, true 100% monogamy is a very small percentage of the population, very small. And what that means is that you don't actually find other people attractive at all. Like you don't have sex dreams about other people. You don't really watch porn. You're not turned on by porn unless it's porn of your partner. You're like, you see somebody, you know, that other people find attractive. You're just like, oh, they're nice looking, but you're not attracted to others. Okay. That's true monogamy. Then we have conscious monogamy, which is you live by all of the monogamy rules and that, but you acknowledge that you are attracted to others and others are attracted to you, but you choose not to act upon it. So that's conscious monogamy. Then we have plain old, I like to call it dysfunctional monogamy, where you really are actually not monogamous at all, but you pretend that you are because society has told you you need to be. And what that looks like, there's a lot of conflict, a lot of that in itself is a whole, I've done shows on it. So you can like just go listen to one of those episodes, right? Where I like break it all down and the different, you know, the like three basically stages of monogamy in our society, in our North American society. Okay. Now, so when I'm talking about monogamous, so monogamy is again attracted to one person. Conscious monogamy is awareness that you're not attracted to one person, but you only choose to act upon your attraction to one person. And dysfunctional monogamy, which is the majority of our society, is we are actually not monogamous, but we pretend we are. And we force ourselves to believe that that is true. And a lot of jealousy and insecurities and all sorts of stuff happen. So then we have over in the other area, we have ethical non-monogamy. And under the umbrella of ethical non-monogamy style, where means that ethical non-monogamy means that you're attracted to more than one person. You may engage in that attraction at different levels of sexuality and activities and intimacy. But everybody who's involved is aware and it's all above board. Okay. That's ethical non-monogamy. Then you have polyamory, which is kind of falls under the ethical non-monogamy umbrella, which is polyamory is where people are able to be in deeper relationships, have deeper levels of intimacy with more than one person. And there's like all different kinds of variations of layers and levels of what, you know, poly looks like for each people. But it's not just about sex, it's about having love and intimacy on top of sexuality with more than one person. And again, if it's healthy, it should be all above board. And then you have swinging, which also is it's not really polyamory. It's kind of a whole other world on its own where, you know, as a swinger, you play together as partners. There's all sorts of different kinds of swinging. Again, I've done lots of episodes on that. You can go look into that. Okay. So those are kind of the styles that fall under that. And then kink and your kink power exchange BDSM can fall into either from an ethical non-monogamy perspective or in the monogamy, in one of the monogamy umbrellas. Okay. So with style, how you work, all that kind of stuff, again, depends on the people that are involved. So that being said, those are who you're attracted to. That's how you move. But then there is a whole love paradigm, like this, or like how you have relationships, how you are in love. And there's two, if you think about it, there's two operating systems. There's monogamy operating system, and there's ethical non-monogamy, systems. Sorry, brain fart. Operating systems. So here are the two fundamental core values of the difference, which is why when I get into why it's not a good idea to try to make those two match, it'll make sense. So the foundation of monogamy operating system, your love paradigm, your sex paradigm, all of it falls into that umbrella, is that you are everything to somebody and they are your everything. Okay, so that's a foundational. So every time, which means, and it can, the layers and levels in which that engages and people engage with that concept, it's very fascinating. So you could still be, and it's really important to understand, you could still be practicing ethical non-monogamy and yet operating, your operating system hasn't rebooted and it's moving with all the operating systems of monogamy. Okay. Then the foundational operating system of a non-monogamous person is that you don't want to be everybody's everything, and everybody, not one person can be all of you, everything for you. And you don't really want them to. You look at it as everybody has skills, they add to the team, and they come into the work, into your sphere, and whatever levels of intimacy and negotiation that you do. But one person doesn't have to be everything, and you don't have to be everything to those people. Okay. So those two foundational operating systems are in polar opposites. So here we go. You're on the sites and you start dating, and I've been noticing, one of my girlfriends, she's been struggling with this a lot. It's been a while since I've had to struggle with this because, my life has changed from, my polypods to, being owned 24/7 to anyway. So it's been a while since I've had to, go through this experience, but I have gone through this experience on more than one occasion. So you meet somebody and they're, you got the whole new relationship energy and it's all wonderful. And, you're spending a lot of time and you're investing a lot of energy. And you're say you're the ethical non-monogamous person. Okay. So in this case, we'll talk about me. I'm ethically non-monogamous, but I have this new boy in my life, and I'm all excited about him and spend a lot of time with him and a lot of energy with him. But I know that that's just in the beginning of the relationship dynamic as we're building and connecting and seeing how do we fit in each other's lives. And over the years, every time I have had sex, dated with somebody who is moving from a monogamous love paradigm, because you can, like I said, you can be moving from a non-monogamous sex paradigm, but a monogamous love paradigm. Every person I've ever had sex with that had their love paradigm as monogamy, it goes horribly sideways, because for them, they feel devastated and heartbroken that they cannot be my everything. And I don't want them to be my everything because it's not how I'm wired. So I get very annoyed and feel very suffocated. And I actually pull away because I'm like, I don't want to be your everything. It's too much pressure. And no one can be my everything. I'm very complex. I'm very multifaceted. I have lots of I have lots of needs that are all over the place. Not everybody personalities can do that. And so even when, and it always ends in heartbreak and drama and people crying and some people lashing out and some people crazy and like all sorts of things, because there's not an alignment. That's every time. Never works. So the more monogamous, and even for people who are like, and some of the times, people have said, well, I don't really want to be monogamous anymore. Like, I want to try non-monogamy. And so, you kind of like, oh, okay, that, I'll help you navigate that. That's no good either. you need two, you need two monogamous people choosing to be non-monogamous for that shit to work with each other. You can't have one really already been practicing non-monogamy and the other one's like, oh, I want to learn how to do that. That's not going to work either. Because there's always going to be that until the operating system gets reformulated, which is that core operating system is I am not your everything. You're not my everything. Till that gets reframed, there will always be this whole dance of needing to be your everything and you being like, I don't want you to be my everything. And then they're like, you don't love me. And you're like, well, I actually do love you, but that doesn't mean that I can't love so-and-so over here, or that doesn't mean I'm not attracted to so-and-so over here. But, in the, again, that's the problem. Monogamous believes that you can only love one person, only attracted one person. You're only supposed to be. And when you're not, they feel devastated. They're hurt. They're angry. They're jealous. There's, shit goes sideways. And then they start doing things to try to make sure that they are your everything. They like up their game. So, say so-and-so likes to, help you out. I once had a partner, where this is coming from, who wanted to explore non-monogamy, but it's like had serious monogamous mindset and like love paradigm, that he even like wanted to walk my dog because he was jealous that my of a dog walker, my dog walker, like it was like insane about how how much somebody needs in order to feel safe, to feel loved in that paradigm and in that operating system. And when you don't live that way and you don't think that way and you don't move that way, they are never happy and they're never satisfied and they're always devastated, always. And the person who's the non-monogamous person also feels awful because it's like a constant bombardment of telling you that you're wrong. You're wrong for wanting this, that there's something wrong with you. You have intimacy issues. You have this, you have this, you have this, you have this, you have this. This is your problem. And so again, it can never be in alignment. And without that alignment, you may get a couple months of some good sex and you may get some months of some good adventuring, but in the end, it always ends in crisis, chaos, and drama. Every time. I've yet to meet anybody who has tried the route of somebody has the monogamy operating system and dating an ethical non-monogamous person who in the operating system, that it doesn't end in chaos, drama, and tears and drama. Did I mention the drama? Lots of drama. So, but yet, if you're non-monogamous, society tells you you're wrong. Like, this is the other piece of this, right? So sometimes you're carrying these monogamous operating systems because you want to be loved. You've been messages that you've been told your whole entire life is that there's something wrong with you because you don't love this way, and that you can't connect that way, and that the way that you love and the way that you connect is wrong because society says it's wrong. And everybody that does it, you end up spending too much time with monogamous people and they tell you you're wrong all the time. If you have feelings, if in the relationship is something's running amok, well, it's like, it's because you're non-monogamous. If there's like a problem in anything, it's because you're non-monogamous. It's like the go-to of what's wrong with you. So I have done it. I have lots of friends who have done it. I've lots of clients that do it. It's like, well, maybe I can be monogamous a little bit. Like maybe I don't have to like, because I want to be loved and I want to be in a relationship and I want my relationships to succeed. And the majority of the population is moving in a monogamous operating system. So where's my pool of, buddies, non-monogamous buddies who like get me and date me and we can date and it's good and it works and there's no drama and chaos and crisis. So, you know, you've been told that over and over and over and over and over and over again. And so, you're like, okay, well, maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll try to be monogamous. All I can say is that never has worked for me. When I tried to be monogamous when I was young, before I knew about ethical non-monogamy, I just cheated on everybody. Like it's not how I'm wired. Right. I can go for periods of time where I'm really, you know, really focused on a particular dynamic in a relationship and really leaning into that dynamic in that relationship. But I'm still always wanting other, craving, desiring, being attracted to other people. And at some point I'm going to be like, all right, so I need some more cock. I need some more pussy, whatever it is I'm craving. Like at some point that is going to happen. And I know that about myself. So it's very important that the relationship dynamics that I have in my life are really for people who are really, really understand that about me and are really okay with it. It doesn't bother them. They're comfortable with it. So yeah. So here's the things, it's okay to be, first of all, I'm not poo-pooing monogamy, okay? True monogamy, if that's how you're wired, that's a beautiful thing. Wonderful. And if you're consciously monogamous, you're moving from like, okay, where at least you're acknowledging, which prevents the dysfunctional and healthy departments. It's like you're functioning from a place of, I understand that I'm attracted to other people and other people are attracted to me, but attraction doesn't mean action. And because of all sorts of different reasons, you've made that agreement with each other, and it's again above board. Again, nothing wrong with that. That works for your lifestyle, and works for your lifestyle. Being ethically non-monogamous is definitely more challenging and more complicated than choosing to be monogamous. But the whole like unhealthy monogamy where we pretend that we're monogamous and then it's all coming from a place of fear and insecurity and not feeling that you're good enough, and like all that stuff happens because we're not being honest with ourselves and we're not being honest with our partner, and our partner's not being honest with us, right? It's like if somebody asks you like, do you find so and so attractive, even though you saw them checking them out, and they're like, oh no, I never look at anybody else. That's a fucking lie. Like the person like, that's a fucking lie. I just saw you. And then now we have a fight about the lie because he or she was checking somebody else out instead of being like, yes, I was checking somebody out. Aren't they attractive? Look at the ass on that. And even in a conscious monogamous relationship, you'd be like, yeah, nice. But doesn't mean you trust each other that you're not going to act upon it. So that's not even an issue. And so a girlfriend of mine recently, she's in the dating pool and she's ethically non-monogamous. And, she's currently started to date this new boy, this new man. And he is like hardcore monogamous, like hardcore monogamous. Like, they've been doing like couple things. They've been like swimming and mini golfing and dinners and like spending time together. Yes, they've been having, fun and sex and things like that. But they've also been doing very like coupley things. And so I said to her, I'm like, he's monogamous. Like, he's not going to last very long. He's already using language like, well, why can't I be your only slut? Or why do you need more than one? Like he's already using that language. She's like, hey, why don't, they've only been on 3 dates. It's like, hey, who else are you dating? He's like, I would never date anybody else. I'm having sex with you. I'm dating you. And she's like, yeah, but I'm seeing other people having sex with other people. It's like that's fine. And he's buying his time. This is what happens. Monogamous people, they like kind of buy their time and think that eventually you're going to change who you are. You're going to change. They'll just be, if they're enough, you'll quit. you'll stop wanting other people. You'll just want them. So you can see how this doesn't, you can see how this is not going to end well at all, because it won't. There's no way to meet in the middle of that. None. If you are attracted and you are actively attracted to other people and you've chosen to live a life of ethical non-monogamy, there's nothing that a monogamous person can do to change who you are and the way that you're wired and the way that you look at the world and the kinds of relationships you want and desire and that fulfill you. And for somebody who is really in, either they're truly monogamous or they're really hooked into the monogamy, the unhealthy monogamy piece where they're in denial that they're actually not monogamous either, they will try to be your everything and they will continue to fail, and it will always lead in heartbreak, chaos, crisis, and drama. So as sad as it is and as hard as it is, if you're moving and you want monogamy, do not be attracted and date ethically non-monogamous people. We will not change. We can't. It's hardwired into our beings. It's like saying, I wish you had different color eyes. It is who we are. And unless you happen to be like realizing that you actually aren't monogamous and that you've been monogamous because society says it, and it's because of the love paradigm and all that kind of stuff, great. Go on your own adventure, find another newly aware ethical non-monogamous person, and the two of you can navigate that together and go on that adventure together. But if you meet somebody, if you're moving in the world of monogamy and you meet somebody who is like the complete opposite of that, you can be attracted to them from a distance. Hell, you can whack off thinking about them, but don't try to date them. It's not going to end well. And you, ethical non-monogamous people, stop thinking you can change monogamy. Stop thinking that you can change the person that you're in a relationship with so that they can like be okay with opening up the relationship. They're not. If they don't already come to you already in that they've already explored it and they figured it out, and it's already enough bumpy enough when you have people who are like actively and have been actively living non-monogamous lives to navigate non-monogamy. You can't have a newbie. Don't do it. I'm telling you, it's not going to end well. It never ends well, ever. So, that's what I wanted to share. Just don't do it. Don't stop thinking that it'll work itself out. Stop. That's denial. That's delusion. This is not going to work itself out. I guarantee not going to work itself out. So, moral of the story: if you're monogamous, date monogamous people. If you're non-monogamous, date non-monogamous people that are already non-monogamous. If you're monogamous, unhealthy monogamy, and you're like, actually, I think I'm ethically non-monogamous, go find a newbie that also is in the same stage as you, and you guys can navigate that together. You're both at the same levels, and so you can work through it the same way, and it's great. All right, that's it. That's all. If you need help in setting up and understanding all the nuances of the relationship dynamics, I have like some really great courses that I've created about navigating conscious monogamy and how to have ethical how to move into ethical non-monogamy. And I have a bunch of wonderful online courses that helps with our relationships and our love paradigms and figuring all that stuff out and learning about who you are and how you can move and change and it's okay, whoever you are. By the way, I just want to say is okay. Just don't try to make somebody what you are. That's it. That's all I'm saying. It's kind of like, it's not going to work. Okay. Till next time, stay adventurous, stay true to yourself, and I will see you in here. You'll hear me next time. Bye-bye. Well, I hope today's episode inspired you, encouraged you, and of course, made you feel tingly inside. I just want to take a moment to tell you how much I appreciate the time that you spend and how I really deeply appreciate you listening. I do it for you guys, the audience, and I love and adore you guys. So, quick loving reminder, I am not available for naked pictures, getting married, having sex, or having anybody's babies. And when you want to spend more time with me in a professional capacity as your coach, your teacher, your educator, your facilitator, you can reach me at GaiaMorissette.com. That's the gateway to all things Gaia. Now, if you're like, oh, I really wonder what's in the extended version. I also lovingly invite you to follow me on Instagram, which the handle is My Orgasmic Life Podcast, where you can leave feedback and comments. Also come join me on Facebook at My Orgasmic Life Podcast Facebook group. And I really want to hear from you. I want to know how this show affected you. What did you learn? Was it inspirational? Did you agree? Did you disagree? I want to know, because I'm a little bit of a voyeur. So I want to know how am I affecting you? So please come leave some comments. Now, if you're like, but I don't want everybody to know what I'm thinking, which is okay. Sometimes we need privacy and we need to be anonymous. So you would like that option? We have that. You can email my slutty assistant, Layla, at GaiaMorissette.com. Okay, listeners, until next time, may your life be filled with sexy exploration and orgasmic pleasure. Mwah. Bye-bye.